why is it okay when you're playing the game? Yeah, if you're doing that outside of anything else other than playing the game, it's not okay. Yet in the game, talking gay between men is a joke. Like it's funny.
But I think it's not. It's something that it's like universally laughed at throughout all, like, males, throughout any language, throughout any race, being gay. Like,
you think so?
Yeah.
Or you don't think that's an American thing or like a Western thing?
Oh no, yeah. I guess if you're talking about the world.
Yeah.
But as far as in the United States, everywhere I came, as far as like any race, it didn't matter if you were Southern or what. West Coast, East Coast, doesn't matter. Black,
everybody
Mexican.
Understands, huh?
Yeah.
Like if you say something along those lines, they're not gonna take it literally.
Yeah, even in Spanish, to Mexicans.
Yeah.
If something, it's like, it sounds a little gay, it's funny. But initially, like, especially like when you're talking to another dude, and they'd be like, he'd be like, I was watching this TikTok video of the dudes that he's like, look what I'm gonna do to my boss, right? I'm gonna trick him. And then he was eating. This Mexican dude. He was a construction worker and he was eating. And he's like, I'm gonna pretend I'm choking. So he started coughing, like he's choking on his food. And his coworker was like, you stop fucking around. Like, you choking for real? And he was like, and then the dude got him in the Heimlich. And then he squeezed him once, he pumped him once, and then the dude let out a big ass moan.
Damn.
And then he's like, motherfucker, and he pushed him off. But it's funny. If you make it into a video, it's funny.
I mean, but still, like, I wouldn't do that. There's boundaries, you know? So, but it seems like, I remember when we were in Northern Concrete, we worked in box crew and everybody was Mexican. And it seems like everybody really knew each other, so they took it like far. But I let it be known early on, like, hey, I don't fuck with that. Like, you understand if you're just saying jokes verbally, but when these fools would get physical, like, they'll smack each other's ass and stuff like that. And I'm like, nah, I never liked that. I never liked that. I always felt like that was weird. So I would tell them from the jump, like, hey, don't do that. Don't play around with me like that. I don't like it. But among them, they would do it all the time. And that's just weird. They would go behind, like, if you were bent over, they would give you a couple pumps. And it wouldn't be like, they wouldn't make contact, it would be air pumps. But they would still pump you. And I didn't like that. I mean, they never did it to me. But when they would do it amongst themselves, to me, it was just like, I get the joke, but it's like, that's a little weird. And when I would always say, even among sports, I would say, like, why is it in basketball and football, it is normal to smack the player's ass? And I'm like, that's just, I understand the sportsmanship, right? I understand when people say it's not gay. I 100% believe that that's not gay. But why is it a thing? And like, when you make a good play to smack you on the butt, like, it just doesn't seem like, if you do that outside of the field, outside of the court, that's gay. You can't smack another man in the ass and say it's just sportsmanship outside of the game, right? So when you do that in the game, what gives it a pass?
Yeah, because if it during the play, right? Let's say if a team, or if it was football, basketball, whatever, if someone made it like something tight as far as play wise, and they did that, they smacked the other dude in the ass. Nobody would even question it, right? But if two dudes were outside, right, two the same players, athletes, superstars out in the real world in the grocery store, and they're like, all right, and when they say peace out, and then they're like, all right, man, and they smack each other on the ass, somebody would clip that, right, and put it up and be like, oh, these dudes are this.
But even if you take it, like, even keep it in the same environment, just keep it like, okay, you're playing a 1v1 game or a 2v2 game. You go to the park. You see a basketball court. Two people are playing, right? Two strangers. And then you come with two people. And you play with one of them. So you're playing on a team with one of the strangers. And say the stranger who's on your team makes a last minute shot or last second shot. and you win the game, and you're like, good shit, and you smack them on the ass, that's
Yeah,
gay.
what the hell?
You wouldn't do it, but amongst your team members, you would. But it's literally the same thing. Your hand is making contact with his cheeks, which makes it gay. There's no way around that, right? How is there any explanation around that? Even though, once again, I know it's not gay. I know when they do it, it's not gay. But some dudes, I seen it in the NBA. Sometimes they grab. It's not just a smack. It's a good
They
grab.
do this?
They don't do this.
They pump it?
They might do a little pump, like just a little tension. Just to show the player, hey, it's a little weird. But I've seen that before.
Nah, that's too much. I never. Yeah, no, that's
too far.
That's too far. It's far for me. Like anybody touching my ass, it doesn't. I don't care if it was not meant to be gay or what. It's still. I feel like it's a form of disrespect, and it makes me feel gay.
Yeah,
like you just somehow inserted some gayness in me, and I didn't want it.
That sounded gay. But even if a girl, right? Even if your girlfriend smacks you on the ass, I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't be like, motherfucker, just go crazy. But it would just be like, hey, I don't like that.
So you wouldn't choke slam her?
No. Woman, no, I wouldn't do nothing like that. But it would just be like, that. I don't like that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Freaking,
it doesn't work. Like, it's not backing. Like, men can do that to women, and they seem to be okay, but you can't do that to men. I wonder what percentage of men would be like, nah, it's fair game. Like, it's not gay because it's a woman now. And I know it's not gay, but there's some gayness in it, right? Because one man likes his booty getting grabbed.
I don't know. You think maybe you'd be surprised on how many people say yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, probably.
And if you do, does it make it gay just because it's now a woman touching you? I would say it's not gay because how is that gay, right?
No, it's not gay, but it's like it's one of those things where it's not natural. It's not natural. It's not. It wouldn't be like you never envision. It's weird to be the opposite, because it seems like the males are always the ones that are pursuing sex, right? And maybe women do too. I'm sure they do too, but they don't show it. It's not as like abundantly clear as like men. So that's why men are always trying to grab a feel all the damn time. Seems like. But when a girl smacks you in the ass, it puts you in it makes you feel like.
Is it because it
like
puts her like
you're the prey? She's
you're
exactly, and it makes you feel like, what the hell?
I'm the big dog here.
Yeah.
So it's like almost like even for a moment she had the pants on.
Yeah,
you know, that's what it.
So
makes
it just makes it feel uncomfortable.
So it makes it feel gay because now you're below.
Now you're the woman in the relationship.
Yeah. For that second. Yeah. So maybe that's why.
Yeah. So then if an intruder came in that right then and there, she got to go get him.
She got to do it.
Yeah.
But even like, right, if you go into like a massage parlor, and because I never been, but I heard that some massage parlors you go in there butt naked. Not you don't go in there
from the door,
but you when you get in the room they say like get comfortable. You can get butt ass naked. So if they do, right, if you get butt ass naked and they massage your cheeks, like I wouldn't tell them, hey, stay away from the cheeks. Like, don't touch the cheeks. Like I would tell them that.
You would tell them to stay away from the cheeks, or you tell them nothing?
No, I mean,
what do you? Because I thought you said.
Well, that's for sure, right? If one thing too, if I ever get a massage, it has to be by a girl. It can't be a dude. Yeah. And people are like, dude, that's weird. Like you're on some weirdo shit. Like you're like, that's like homophobe, or even though that person is not gay. Like the person who's giving you the massage, but it's just, to me, like it has to be a girl, and it just has to be. That's just me. Like I'm sorry, and And then yeah, like especially like I think I wouldn't say like I think it's fine if you rub over, but don't stay. Don't stay and put
If she was doing one of these,
really massage the glutes.
and,
Don't do
and
that.
she was spreading. She was spreading.
Oh, that's
as she,
nasty.
As she was like, it wasn't clockwise.
Nah, we might have to fight. If you,
It wasn't. It wasn't like. It wasn't like. What did it say?
You said
hands on,
she's-
wax off shit. Like,
oh, if she's counterclockwise, no,
yes, she was doing
clockwise.
it. She was doing it so your cheeks would spread
Yeah, no.
on everything.
We might have to fight if you do that. You can't do that. That's a crime. You can't do that. You're spreading your shit.
It
No.
just feels weird for another dude to be you just touching your whole body. It
Yeah.
seems weird. Yeah. So I would,
Especially as a massage, though.
yeah.
Especially as a massage.
Yeah, and then people will say, "Well, you know, you need the strength and to really be able to get in there." And this,
Nah,
this
I'll
and
settle
the
with
other.
the fuck. Even if I had a fucked up neck, and they were like, "Oh, you really need? Do you have knots? Like you need Bruce to take care of it." I'd be like, "Nah." Even if a homegirl can only get 60% off,
Yeah,
or even 40, I'll take that. Don't give me Bruce. Like live Bruce over there. Like that's how I would do.
yeah. I would do the same thing.
But another thing too, and this happened to me in middle school. I think it was middle school. I don't know why people think it's okay when in gym to freaking get butt ass naked in gym. Did anybody ever get butt naked like that?
What do you mean?
Because when we would
In the locker room, you're talking
in the
about
locker room, in the men's locker room, I think when we went swimming, we would go swimming. And they would have the showers. I think it was like middle school. They would have showers so you can get showered. I guess so you can wash the chlorine off. And when the dudes came in, there was two dudes in specifically. Nobody else would do it, but these two dudes, I don't know, maybe they were gay. I had to assume they were. Because how the heck do you get butt ass naked? Right? Because when I came in, I just seen, because I just walking in. I'm like, oh shit. And I just turned that way and went on my business. But they were under the same hose. Like, what is it called?
the shower.
The shower head. There's multiple. Yeah, you guys were under the same one.
Butt naked.
Butt ass naked. And I'm like, that's nasty. And then I'm like, to me, I'm like, why? I don't like it when you do that. You can't just get butt ass naked in front of everybody, whether it be the gym, whether it be in the locker room of a football team. Well, I guess I can't speak for everyone. I'm not in sports. But for me, that's weird. And you're putting me in a weird spot. If I come in and I have to worry about this fool being butt ass naked all the time.
Because you're not trying to see that shit.
No, I'm not trying to see that.
Yeah, but they don't give a fuck. And I know what you're talking about. But when I used to go to the gym, and I would, because there's showers, people shower at the gym, and when I would go in there, it seems like for whatever reason, old men don't give a fuck. I would go in there to just take my coat off and then go straight back outside to go start working out. And as soon as I come in, sometimes it'd be, for whatever reason, old men coming out the shower. Not every single time, but it'd be at least once a month. I would see somebody butt ass naked, and it'd be an old man, and they would come out like they have a towel,
and they just that's what
and
I'm
it's
saying.
on their head, and they're walking around butt ass naked, just. And because you gotta walk from in the bathroom, the showers and lockers where they change, or you gotta walk down the little hall a little bit. So they would walk butt ass naked with their hands on their towel, walking butt ass naked. And I'm like, I would walk in, see that, and then just do a Yui, go right the fuck back outside.
It seems like there has to be some hidden agenda there. You don't just do that. You're doing that almost as like, have you ever seen the women models who come out in like a bikini or with the latest drop and they have to do the walk? What do they call that?
The walkway?
Yeah, no, I know. But what do they call that thing like that? You know what I'm talking about though?
Runway models?
Yeah, like runway models.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're doing that to get a catch. Like you're showing, you're putting your
advertising.
Yeah, you're advertising to see if anybody wants a bite. Pause on that. That's just gay as hell.
That's nasty.
But that's what it seems like. Because what man would just do that. I would never get butt ass naked and walk in front of anybody. I mean, if and man, I guess if it's the opposite thing, no, you can't do that. That's against the thing. I was gonna say you could walk into a female locker room butt ass naked, but no, that's wrong. That's wrong.
I think like if it's you and your wife, if it's your wife or your
that's different. That's different.
That walk around naked.
That's like if you have. I don't think I would be like if I had my own crib, right, and I'm married, whatever. I don't think that would be a standard. Like we walking around butt ass naked. No. But I mean, if once in a while, if it happened, I'm not. It's fine. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If it happens or whatever, whenever it happens because it's different.
But to be as butt ass naked in front of, because look, if I just put it in my eyes, my point of view, why that makes me super vulnerable. I'm butt ass naked with a bunch of random stranger men around me, like. Like if they say yummy and they like let's get them, it's over.
Nah, that's why you can't be in there.
Like, well, I can't be butt naked in there.
Well, when you really think about it, because that makes me think of like jail. Because when you hear these stories of people fighting in the showers, that's like you said, you're vulnerable. You're butt ass naked, fighting, just swinging. You know, just it just seems like man. Like there's a lot of things you hear from jail that's like, man, that shit would suck. And how, what do they call it? Degrading it is. Like when they say, when people be like, bro, you don't want to be in jail. Like there's nothing gangster about jail. Like where they make you, after every visit, I think you have to squat and cough. So where they make you squat, spread your cheeks and cough to see if you have any contraband. And I'm like, damn, right? Even if you the toughest motherfucking gangster in the world, for you to do that, and I think that's what Wallow said. Wallow said, I don't give a fuck how you tough you are. You're still squatting and coughing, and that guard is checking up your booty hole. Like, and that says a lot, right? And especially like I think for the young kids who are still in the dark side, you know, who are still lost or still doing all this dumb shit. It just seems like, man, it's no longer the time to do crime. That shit's gone. There's rings everywhere. There's cameras everywhere. There's no escaping shit no more. Like, there's so much ways to get money.
No.
That you have to figure out a source, because eventually you're gonna get caught up, or eventually they're gonna smoke your ass.
I know, and the money's not worth it. It's like, well, you're stacking a good amount of money in a short period of time, but the risks are too high, and you're gonna get caught. It's like gambling. It's like going to the casino and expecting to win every single hand. It's not gonna happen.
And then it's just not worth it, right? Yeah. Because for the people to take you away from your family forever, not even forever. Let's just say 15.
I know, 15. Like, what's like, if you were to think how much money are 15, like how much money does somebody got to give you in order for you to do 15 years in jail?
I know, especially when a lot of people argue an hour, right? How much to work? When you work, you're giving that person your time of your life as payment. Have you ever seen that movie? I don't know what it's called. I seen a trailer of it with
Justin Timberlake,
and he was paying with weeks of his life.
Yeah,
he was paying dinner, and he's like, take a week for yourself to the waiter. I was like, I think I seen that movie, but I don't remember.
I seen it. It's a good ass movie, but it's like I guess money currency is all time, and that time on your wrist signifies how long you have until you die. And whenever you work any job, they'll pay you in time. So people would work and you'd pay your bills, all that shit with time.
Like, imagine if that was true, but you couldn't earn more time. So when you're born, you get a meter, like, or it was already installed in your hand, right? And you had, I don't even know, it said the time there, right? And that's how you buy shit. Oh, but then that would mean it would add to somebody else, huh? Because then I was gonna say you can't add, but then you would have to. Okay, so if you do add, how many people would keep their lifestyle balling when it's costing you your life? And you're like me and you have a certain amount of time and we go out to dinner. How generous would we be to tip now? Because now it's more valuable. So that equals to time is more valuable than money, right?
Well, if you're a billionaire, if you transfer billions into time, a week wouldn't be shit.
Because how much money would a millionaire give for a week of time? Right? You see it all the time especially with all these conspiracy theories about how these celebrities who are getting older are chasing youth.
How to become young?
They want to keep their youth. All these people who are in the limelight are taking injections to the face, a bunch of weird things. You hear conspiracies of like drinking baby blood and doing all these things to preserve their youth. And it's interesting when you see women. You know, there's a lot of women out here who are in their 50s and 60s and they look clean. They look young, what I mean. So they look young and it's like, it makes me think like, okay, is this normal? Because every person I've ever met in my life who's 50 and 60 doesn't keep that. So you have to be living a lifestyle so completely different than them. And in my eyes, it's just healthy, right? Or you're doing something. And to me, it's like when you have money, you'll do something, right? It's like people who chase gains and shit. They'll do steroids because they don't give a fuck. They just want to get big. So I think it makes me question if these people are natural because it doesn't seem natural.
No, I don't think you can be natural to look that young. I don't think so. There's got to be shit that you do, and I'm sure it's what you eat, work out, and then there's probably a shit ton of vitamins, and then lotions of some sort. Fucking, what's it called? Botox.
But I'm saying like that's fine if you use some what do they call it, tropical stuff on your face or whatever. That's normal. We've been doing that forever.
But you're saying like,
well, they've been doing that forever, like avocado. I know. I'm talking about when you do something that's unnatural, like injections to the face, putting chemicals or whatever it is into your face, into your body. Like there's so many. I think somebody said like now nobody cares about women getting surgeries done, right? Getting implants and all this stuff because it's like everybody looks the same now. We're reaching a point where everybody's reaching the same. Everybody's getting this. So where that's not valuable no more a lot, and that's arguable to a lot of people. But it seems like a lot of people got tired of everybody looking the same.
But I think I never liked looking at girls with hella makeup to begin with. It always seemed like you were doing extra, like you're doing too much. And it seemed like the less makeup, the more natural look. I think it looks more attractive.
But what if they're using the makeup to cover up something?
And like the huge lips with the freaking... You ever seen people who grab the... I'm not sure if it's water bottles or like Gatorade bottles with a bigger opening.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll put their shit and then they'll suck it so that it inflates their
I don't
lips.
think they really do that. Like, but I think that was just like a trend, but they do like lip fillers and stuff like that. I don't know.
And it's just the shit does not look good.
It's just like whoever you are, wear that shit with pride, huh? I mean, if you're skinny, that's just how you were born, then that's how you were born. I mean, but skinny, you can alter stuff. So people go into the conversation, okay, how far is too far, right? Because they'll say, oh, you'll fucking fix your teeth. That's not natural. You'll rip all these motherfuckers off and get veneers. Or you'll do all this shit. That's not natural. Or you would get surgery to do this. So what the fuck are you talking about? But I think it comes to where like, if something is affecting you, if your teeth are fucking hurting because you didn't take care of them, and there's a solution by removing them and getting clean, it's fine. But then the argument is, okay, what about if your teeth is fine? You just don't like your teeth. And you want to replace them. But I wouldn't do that. My teeth are not perfect. My teeth are crooked on the bottom. So, and I'm like, that's me. You know, fuck it. It is what it is. I wouldn't get them. I wouldn't alter my look or get that white smile that everybody has. Unless I would just get it by like, but then I would use like, you know, that light equipment.
To whiten them?
Yeah. So it would be like, people would argue that. Like, you're still doing shit.
Yeah, but change. Like when you comb your hair or like put good nice clothes on, would that not be like you're altering? Would that not be like you're doing something? I mean, you're not doing something to your body.
I don't think so. I think it only
When you cut
applies
your
when you
hair-
apply change to your body.
When you dye your hair,
Yeah, that would come into question.
and it's like you do some stuff you do for yourself.
When you add,
Yeah, but
just
like,
because
I
you're
think-
insecure.
but like when you do something for others,
But a
right?
lot of
'Cause
people,
why you do this?
People argue that. Women will argue that
They're doing
because
it for
women,
themselves.
yeah, they're doing it for themselves. Or
But
they'll
they-
say like when they're dressed all in a tight dress or whatever, they'll say this is not for men. This is for me
But that's
because that's how I like looking at myself. Or I'd be like,
But
if you're my girl, right? I'd be like, well, then wear it at home all day. I don't give a fuck. But when you go out, put on a hoodie. You know, when you're at home, go straight to the dress. Like, but then it would be like, no, I wanna show myself. But then that's where it comes to like why we have to really boil things down. But then people would say, no, you're too controlling. You're fucking
you're insecure.
You're a bitch.
Yeah.
No. But it seems like you have to have some level of control in each other's life. And so the women can say shit to you too. Hey, I don't want you to be doing this dumb shit no more. So there's a level of thing. But I think when you remove that,
Because it just, there's this dude that explained it perfectly as far as like women advertising, because that's what it is. When you look a certain way, when you dress a certain way, when you take pictures and post them, and in certain angles or whatever, you're doing it for attention, right? You're advertising yourself to the males out there. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing, whether or not you know it
You like it
or no. Yeah, that's what you're doing. And I understand the satisfaction of people giving you likes or praising you on your looks and this and the other. But when you have a partner, the advertising should stop.
okay, so I got a question for you then. Say you get into a relationship and the girl has a social media following. And she doesn't post super revealing pics, but she posts like somewhat. Like just say
Outfits.
yeah, like outfits, something like nothing
Bikinis.
crazy. Is it right for you to say stop doing that?
I don't think so.
Because when you got into the relationship, she's been doing that?
Yeah, I don't think so because she's not my wife. Right? It depends on how serious we are and how long I've known her for. Because it's like, why? Yeah, I feel like I don't have authority over her as far as to change her life like that if we ain't even that serious. So from the jump, it's like there's no reason, especially if she's making money off of it.
No money. She's like, I just like to post.
Oh, well, even then, if it's something that's like, it's something eventually we have to talk about for sure.
Oh,
if she wanted to get this
okay,
serious
but then
mode.
she would be like, well, when we started dating, I was fucking posting. So what's the issue
The
now?
deal is that
you got into it already.
Yeah, that's
Why wait
fine.
5 years to change it?
Because 5 years ago we weren't serious, or whenever we.
So then it would
decided
have to
about.
be known from the jump, like, hey, right now it's cool, but 5 years down the lane,
No, because now we just need to play it as it goes. It's like I can't
Nah,
stop.
I think
you can't just from the jump be like this. I need this and this and this and this, because I feel like that's not. It's not the move.
Okay, so it's wrong to tell. Because okay, look, I think it's because like if I had Instagram and they told me to delete it, I don't give a fuck. I delete it. But it's different when I have like if they told me like delete the podcast Instagram, I would be like, no. Why would I do that? That doesn't make any sense, right? I'm not posting anything like that.
I know, but it's different.
The way it's different when I'm exposing myself. When I'm showing something more like than I don't know. Certain shit should be exclusive.
It's like if you were out here with your shirt off, flexing or whatever, and putting that on your own Instagram, right? And then you had a bunch of women liking it and messaging you, calling you sexy boy, whatever the hell. Then it would be different because you're saying same rules would apply.
Yeah.
You're now advertising yourself, and people will see this. They'll see your following, and it seems like women are attracted to people who are popping, right? If they, especially too, when a lot of women give you attention, and another women, let's say you came across another girl, didn't know who the fuck you were, right? Once she realizes who, like, oh, this dude's popping for whatever reason,
It goes up
your
because
status in her
I think
eyes goes up. It's like, oh, this dude is a
he's
high value
somebody.
man, and high value men have money, or have a higher chance of money. So automatically it piques her interest, right? But I feel like, so I think the same rules would apply if you're out here exposing your body type shit. If she was like, oh, I don't fuck with
I
that.
would do it though. She's like, hey, I don't like it when you post fucking without your shirt on.
Unless,
I'd be like, I won't post no more because it's not a big deal to me.
what if it was money? What if it was a good portion of money income for you?
It was a good. Well, then I would just have to look at it. Okay, would I be okay if my girl was making money from bikini pics? Because okay, if I'm gonna say, oh no, so then I have to be okay if it was on her side. That's how I would judge it. More if it's morally correct. Okay, so I'm posting pictures without my shirt off. She says I don't like it, but I'm getting money off of it. So she's like, stop it for the relationship. Would I do it? I think I would.
It depends on how
think I
much
would.
you have with her, like how much you.
I think it would vary on. Yeah, that is true because we can't be dating a week and then you're like, hey, take that shit down.
Yeah,
because it'd be like, what the fuck? You might leave me in a week, like, and then I took my shit down and I just lost like $400 or so, whatever it is.
If you're 50, if it was like 50% of your income, you lost 50 grand a year.
Man, but okay, it would just be like, know what you're getting into then. So it would be like, if you don't like that as a man, then if somebody's already doing that, you probably just be like, oh, you don't fit the criteria. Let me bounce to the next one.
Yeah,
right?
Because it's a lot of money. It's a good amount of money. Like if I can't, if whatever girl if I started dating a girl, she had a big following and she was doing this shit I didn't know anything about, and then she showed me the check, and I'm like, damn, that's a big check, and it's like it's not.
I wouldn't like
it's
that.
not naked shit. I know. I wouldn't.
I don't give a fuck if it's just bikini pics, and people would be like, I don't give a fuck what anybody says, because the whole thing of a marriage and everything of like you're my girl is the exclusivity. I'm exclusive to you, you're exclusive to me. And the more concealed you are, the more concealed I am, raises value between each other as far as perception, how we're viewed. So when they see me and they see you, when they see me and a girl gives me attention, I'm like, fuck out of here or whatever. I wouldn't say fuck out of here, but I'd be like, nah, like, I'm already married or whatever. Me doing that and being more, like anti, like, no, I'm with somebody, and you being like in a turtleneck, like, or some shit like that, would raise value because they'd be like, oh, she's behaving properly. Damn, that's a shot.
It's just ladylike. It's ladylike. Whenever another man sees a lady, you can tell because it's all straight respect. Especially when they respect the man she's with, it's straight respect.
And the reality is, and it's whether girls like it or not. If you're dressed a certain way, if you're more revealing, men are not gonna respect you as much. That's just a fact. I know for a fact. If you're dressed more revealing, I don't care if you're the most innocent girl in the world. If you're dressed more revealing, they're gonna treat you a certain way. And if you dress more covered up, or it's how you handle yourself as well. That plays a role too. But if you handle yourself well and you're not dressed revealing, people are gonna automatically have a certain level of respect for you because they're like, this shit doesn't fly with her. But when they see somebody who's revealing and they take it as like, oh, she's not respecting herself, so I can not respect her too, or I could push the boundaries and the limits because she's already a certain type of girl. And that's how homies think. Whether you like it or not, you can be the perfect innocent person who just wants to look great, right? But people are gonna view it as they're gonna view it.
If she was making like a good amount of money though,
Nah, I think it would just uncategorize
marriage wise.
Yeah, because then I'd be like, it just wouldn't work. Wouldn't work.
If she was giving me half, I'd be down for a little bit.
You would be down. That's how people say. Okay, so if she had her OnlyFans, you'd be like, give me half and we're straight.
See, but OnlyFans implies like some other shit. Like,
Well, that's what it is.
and that's why I'm like, okay, that you're like a it's like that. I don't even. That seems like the sinfulness exceeds it. Like it 10x's it. So it's like, oh, that's too far. That's like crack. Like, hey, bro, I just want to do a little bit of Hennessy, a little bit of weed. That's it. And you're telling me go straight to crack? No. I draw the line right there. Like, no crack.
Yeah, that's because but I think because to tell a lady, or whatever, a person, stop that shit. It's like I understand where the girl can be like, fuck you. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not doing something because you want to do.
It's my
but I think
life
over
and
the years, the position of women has changed, right? Back then, it seems, I don't know, shit. Seems like women were more willing to submit to their husband. Now it's like, no, we're equal. We're equal as humans, 100%. And the only way you can describe this is if you go to God, right? Because in the Bible, we are equal. We're both God's children, right? But a man has a higher role in the thing, in the marriage. It's just how it is. Just like you don't see women being preachers or pastors, because that job is for men.
You think so?
It is
100%.
100% based on the Bible. So if you see a girl doing that, that's not her role. She's not supposed to.
No.
And I mean in the church.
You don't think? Oh, so it wasn't intended for her, but it doesn't mean she can't excel at it.
No. It's against the Bible, from what I know. Like now, I'm speaking off just what I heard. Now I don't know. And if every time I mention anything about the Bible, always fact check everything. Don't take it from me. No, flip to your book. Do your Googles. I even say, get yourself a Bible, and that way you could reference. But from what I've heard, this is just heard now. They can't be women pastors. It's against the faith.
Well, it seems like it's just, I think
it's just a role.
Men and women were created specifically, I think, for different roles. I think, and then that's how it's always been. Like, males have always been the leaders, have always been the hunters, the problem solvers. Even though I think women I feel like a man can only get so far by himself, but you give him like a strong woman,
and he can elevate. He will elevate.
He will go, and they'll go to crazy heights when they unite like that. But that's what God intended. That's why you gave you a partner.
But it seems like, because it seems like they seem like they're at a lower role, but like it's not, because women are the most valuable thing. Women and children. Fuck the dudes. That's how everybody says, and that's the reality. Women and children. Well, that's why they always say women and children to the front, huh?
Yeah.
You're getting saved. Yeah. And the men are like, I'm equal too. Nobody says that. They're just like, save my wife, save my kid. I don't care. Save. And I know that women would be the same as far as how they feel, but like, men has set the rules, huh? That's how it's supposed to be. And that's how it is.
And that's why men go to war and they die.
And that's why I think, like, I'm not a girl, so I can't say, but that's why I feel like, why wouldn't you want that? Like, why wouldn't
to
you
be protected? Huh?
Yeah, like that, like straight fucking, we die. We'll go to war. When it comes to like, because when you speak on this equality, like you want, like really, really equality, that means you have to pay when we go to the restaurant too.
I know,
right?
And I feel like a lot of women will be willing to pay or do 50-50, but I feel like there are a good portion of them that are like, if he doesn't pay, automatically I don't fuck with him because he a brokey, or if he ain't picking me up in this car, or if he ain't, because it's like I don't understand what, like, you're confusing me like a bitch.
But
where's all this equality now?
Why is it that it almost seems like women are trying to become more masculine. And and to me, when you're trying to become masculine, you become unattractive because now you're becoming we like feminism, women, and you're behaving, you bitch, like what's up, like you could swing too, and that's the problem because people say equal rights, equal fights, like so like they say, like a lot of women are on board with, which I'm not, by the way, but a lot of women are on board with if you put your hands on a man, he could smack your ass back, and I'm like, no, if a woman hits you, run, like. I don't care if you look like a bitch. As a man, I would never clown you from running away. Like, even though like that bitch ass motherfucker running, like I wouldn't be like, no, because you're doing the right thing. You got to get away. In that position, you got to get away. But then it becomes the argument of like, okay, how far is too far? If every day or she hits you once, boom, and you're like, stop. She hits you again, bang. And then she hits you with a 1-2, boom, boom. And then you're sleeping and she hits you with a 1-2, bang, bang. When you're like, oh, I gotta smack her back. It just seems like never. It just seems like you just gotta leave her ass.
It seems like no, never. But I think if she's got a deadly weapon on her, hey, well, it's always like there's no you have every right. You have every right. She got because man, they're crazy sometimes.
If your life's in danger,
like you seen the girl who like threw the gasoline in the dude's car and then fucking she had a lighter in there and the windows were closed. I think one of them was open. She was pouring gasoline in it and then she lit it and the shit exploded and all the glass went everywhere and she flew back.
While the dude was in the car?
No. It was just her car and I'm like,
oh shit.
But like some girls are just crazy. So if she came at you with a knife, oh, you can lay her out 100%. Lay your ass out. But yeah, I don't know. It's because it seems like you should be able to. I don't think. I mean, unless she's a UFC fighter, but you can duck.
Okay,
if you can duck.
So if your wife is Holly Holm.
Oh yeah,
you can swing back.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, because she probably fuck you up still.
No, I know, but if your wife's Holly Holm, imagine.
She's like
imagine.
Well,
I mean, good for them tried if a man ever tried to get busy, they'd be like, bitch, you know who I am? I'll put your ass to sleep.
Yeah.
And that's like, I never really thought about that. There has to be a certain level of confidence as a woman knowing that you can beat your husband's ass.
if need be. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I think I'm the same way. And I would never, because I was like, we were raised different. And I'm not sure if people are still getting raised the way we've been raised, hopefully. But it's like the women, you should always
never. And it's hard. It's hard because I've gotten slapped before. I got slapped in the face. I've gotten smacked in the face. I've gotten pushed and shit like that, and it's embarrassing, right? When somebody smacks you in the face and you can't do nothing back, you're vulnerable because I know it's against everything we believe in, but you just smacked the shit out of me and in front of everybody, and it's like, what do I do? It's because I don't get no points from that, right? If you smack me, people see it and I lay you out, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't get no points from that. So it's like I just had to like bite my tongue and take it. Like it is what it is. Like that's it. But it just seems like I think a woman shouldn't lay a hand on a man.
Especially because she knows he ain't gonna do shit either.
Yeah. Especially when they use that to the advantage. Like if you know you got somebody, if you're married or you're in a relationship with someone, you're like, he ain't never gonna touch me. So you know what to do. I'm gonna piece him up. Like 1-2, I'm gonna slap him. I'm gonna say all these things to him, and I know he's not gonna hit me. Then that's like abuse, right? Because you're just taking advantage of him now. That's just wrong within itself. You can call him a bitch all you want. Like verbal, go at it. But like physical, you can't do it. It goes both ways. Just like how people say, or like people say, like you can't fat shame, right? Yet like women, women are like, if you say that to a girl, like you fat, that's like body shaming, right? But they say that to men.
Yeah, but they feel like for whatever reason, men can take it. Like it's not bad.
And how come it's not equal then?
It's only equal when it benefits them. But the people who are truly seeking for super equal. But I feel like telling somebody they're big is, I think you should, because it's like, if you really care about these people, you want them to be healthy. You would want them to live long lives. And
telling people you're fat.
yeah, like, hey, bro, you need to do something about it. Like, yeah, I would expect. That's why I always told. I told Esteban when we were at Walmart. I was like, hey, bro. I was like, cause I forgot who we seen. It's a dude that was hella big. He was big, and I told him, hey, bro, if I ever get big, and I don't care if you. I told him, I don't give a fuck. Just tell me, hey, you're like rough, like mean, like you fat piece of shit, like shit like that. Like, you got to tell me, because there's no way if I ever let myself go like that, it's over. I'm just done. Like, you can't be nice to me. You can't be like, well, I don't want to hurt his feelings. I want everybody to come at me, because it's like I lost my discipline if that ever happened. And I would want somebody to tell me. I would want you to make me feel like shit because I deserve it for letting myself go.
See, I think it's different, right? Because you're gonna be like, okay, in your situation when you are skinny, and then you, like you said, you let yourself go. It's different than somebody who was just born big, right? And was born big, they've been big their whole life. For them to get the same level of critique, it seems more wrong than it is for you, because you said you let yourself go. This person's always been big, has a slow metabolism. It's harder for him to lose weight. Does he deserve the same criticism as you by his friends or his family members?
At what age?
Grown man, don't matter.
Okay, grown man, I feel like you could take it. It don't matter, because it doesn't matter how big you are. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter genes. It all comes down to calories.
But I think men have learned to accept their flaws. A lot of us, like, I think, like, it just is what it is. Well, at least I see a lot of men accepting their flaws more than women. Right? Like, men have big ass noses like us. Men have weird freaking beards and shit, doesn't grow fully. Men have like all these flaws where they're hella ugly, and yet they just accept it. Like, it is what I am. There was a dude at work who used to work with us. He had a big ass nose, bigger than mine, and it was white as shit.
Like Wario?
Probably like Wario. It was hella big, and people would always make fun of him for it. But it was like, when you said a joke about him, about his nose, it was like throwing a feather at him. Like, it didn't do nothing to him. You know, he was just whatever, and it was just more comical and funny when it came to it. And he was like, "That's how God made me." He's like, "What do you want me to do?" He's like, "That's how God made me," and it was just a joke, and he took it. So it's like, okay, people would accept that. When I think if it was a girl with a big ass nose and she had the capability to change that through surgery, it would. But to me, it's like, I don't know. I just believe you should accept yourself. But I understand that sometimes it's hard.
It's too much. Yeah, because I don't know. Because I think it might be at times fixing certain things might be fine. But it's like when I don't know. I think there's a line there, and it's hard to really explain it in a way where you can draw a clear line to separate
what's okay and what's not okay. And it does seem weird when we say it, like, to tell somebody what's okay and what's not okay. Like, who are we to say what's okay and what's not okay?
But it just seems like you don't need big ass cheeks like that. Why you putting so much fat in your ass for what?
But it just seems like we're taking pride in how God made us. But like, because people say, like, God don't make mistakes. Like, he made you a certain way. Not to say you're perfect, because everybody's flawed, right? But it just isn't that the beauty in it, that we're different, right? Like, because if everybody's looking the same, there's no diversity no more. So it's one thing to be like, okay, you see 100 men and they have a normal nose, and then you see me and have a bigger nose. They're like, okay, well, even though that might not be seen as attractive to some people, what diversifies men. So, okay. So do you think there's more diversity in women than men? Or do you think there's more diversity in men than women? because men don't alter themselves.
I think I would say there's more diversity in men solely just because of makeup. I feel like makeup is kind of like like every girl is wearing it. So it's like sometimes you look at two girls and you can't tell the difference.
And it's just accepted, huh? It's crazy how men wear their flaws. If a man has a pimple, he rocks that shit. If a girl has a pimple, she can cover it up. And it's cool.
And men look the same. Men look the same every day, every night, every minute. And then women will look. I seen like if you go to TikTok, you see some crazy transformations. I seen this lady that looked like straight like a bum, missing teeth. Her hair was all effed.
Oh yeah.
Her skin was all fucked up, and then she shows you doing her makeup, putting her teeth in, putting like extensions in or some shit, and then she went from looking like a 1 to like a 8, and I was like, it's crazy because you can go to sleep with this woman, and then
That's false advertising.
Wake up, and it's not what you slept with the night prior. It's like how you drop 7 ranks overnight.
And now it has to open the conversation of this. If this is okay,
you trick me,
right? That's the tricks. That's catfishing.
But if you trick me,
that's a visual trick.
You trick me, but
that's a Chris Angel shit. That's a live in person trick because they're like, because if I see you and I believe you're someone, what if you're like, take your makeup off? I had to see first.
But I mean,
girls won't do it. Like there's girls who are like, I'm not leaving the house without makeup.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess I don't know. It's just a different world for me. I don't understand it. And I think maybe it's like if we were women, we'd be maybe the same way.
No, I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm not I'm all for like women are sensitive. Like that's how they should be. Men is the ones who gotta wear our fucking shit on our sleeves. We gotta take everything. We gotta take the punishment. We gotta take everything all our negatives. There's no like, oh, pat on the back for men. Nah, life's hard. Deal with it. That's how it always is for men.
Yeah.
And I think even though it can be harsh at times, I think it's necessary to be the men that the world needs us to be. Tough, and when it comes to fucking protecting and all this shit, and you need to be that. It's just hard. And how do you build that without having a rough life or at least going through certain experiences? You can't, right?
I don't know. What does Tupac say? Time to be a G. What did he say?
Oh, he said in times of danger, don't freeze. Time to be a G.
That's crazy.
That's rough too. Don't freeze.
And it's true because when something unexpected, boom, something crazy happens, people tend to freeze because you
can't freeze. I don't care if you don't react perfectly, but you can't freeze. Freeze meaning you don't do anything.
Yeah,
you're just there.
Like
they're taking your wife and you're just in there, like hella shocked. You can't. Even if you go up and throw a weak punch and you fall, and he's like motherfucker and knocks you out, you have more respect because you didn't stand there. You did something about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the AB podcast. You can follow us in the links below. All our social medias are linked there. If you want to buy some merch, the merch that we're usually wearing in the podcast, you can buy it as well. The link will be below.